you, Maril, again for doing this with me. We're going to just talk about your experience working with me with financial coaching and with Dollars and Change. So yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So let's get started. First question up. So what challenges were you experiencing with your money that led you to look for financial coaching as a solution?
So my biggest challenge was probably that I was just avoiding dealing with my money. I knew, I work in a finance related field. I knew that I had good income coming in, yet I was just spending blindly and had nothing to show for my money except debt.
Yeah.
And I just knew that wasn't the right way. And so I needed some support to help me face that.
Yeah. What helped you to decide that, okay, I need some help with this? Because a lot of people will keep trying themselves, kind of spinning their wheels. What led you to say, okay, let me find some support?
Yeah, I had some experience using coaches in other areas of my life. And I really enjoyed doing that. It just helps me to stay focused and committed, a little bit more committed and motivated in what I'm working on. And I had been wanting to clean up my finances for a long time, but just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it on my own. So having a coach just made sense.
Okay. Great.
Even then, if you remember, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
I remember. Yes, during the consultation, I remember you saying that there was some doubt there whether you would follow through on it. And I think that's pretty common. Sometimes we go do we trust ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Work. Yeah. So yeah, I remember. So with the challenges you were having with your money, what would you say was at stake? How was your relationship with money affecting your life?
It was always there in the background. And even though at the time that I started working with you, I felt like I was in a place where I was getting by well enough. I had what I needed. I didn't feel like I was really, even though I was kind of paycheck to paycheck, I knew I was okay. I feel secure in my job. But I'm sorry, what was the question again? I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. I was asking you what was at stake? What did you feel was at stake if you didn't do something about your money?
Oh,
what was your relationship with your money in general?
Yeah, I knew I was losing valuable time to make my finances be what I want them to be. And so, yeah, even though I was sort of comfortable, there's this feeling in the background of shame about having credit card debt, of not having enough money in savings. My approach to finance was sort of always at the last minute, make some changes, move some money around to figure out how to do the things I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And even though I was sort of comfortable doing that, now in hindsight, I realize how stressful that was. And how much it was impacting my sense of self-worth. Mm. And now that I've started to make some changes, I can see in hindsight how different I feel having my money be better managed.
Yeah. So what made you believe that financial coaching with me in particular was the right solution for you?
Leap of faith, honestly.
It was, yeah.
I didn't know in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's been my approach to a lot of things in life. Let's just try it and see what happens. And you were very encouraging. As I said, in the beginning, I was not sure if I was ready to make these kind of changes for myself. And you were not you weren't pushy. You were just very encouraging. You can do this and I'll help you. And that felt right to me. And so I just gave it a shot.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you did.
I had no idea.
I'm so glad you did. It's been such a pleasure working with you. So yeah. So how did you feel, like all the feels, how did you feel coming into the well-managed money, coaching program?
I mean, I was nervous and okay, I was nervous and embarrassed to show you my finances. And I was also nervous about what you were going to ask me to try and do.
Mhm.
I thought that I would have to like really pare down my lifestyle and make a lot of changes and stop spending money. And that was not the case at all, which was pleasantly surprising. And feel like, in fact, I feel like my lifestyle has improved.
Yes.
Because yeah, because I'm just not throwing my money away every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like a swallow some pride kind of thing, but I really had been wanting to do that for a long time, and I just hadn't been able to generate enough momentum to get started. And
Yeah.
and you were super like non-judgmental about all of it.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's move forward.
I feel very normal.
Yeah, well, 'cause I knew there was so much that you could do there. Like the thing is, like I can see it, right? And it's like, but I want you to see it too. Like, and so like, let's just one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about your experience working. You kind of was touching on it a little bit, but tell me about your experience working with me. Like, what aspects did you benefit from the most?
So I've told you this before. I really love your like monthly spending plan. And even though I've stepped back from using that as tightly as we did in the beginning, having that map was just what I needed. Like every other budgeting software that I had tried to use before, I like got tired of using it. It was too much work. There's something about your spending plan that just worked really well for me. And also the aspect of separating out my day-to-day spending from my other expenses.
Yeah.
Setting up different accounts, that has worked really well for me.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that. So let's talk about results. So tangible, intangible, what results? Well, let's start with the tangible things, like the actual kind of dollars and cents type stuff. What results have you seen from financial coaching with me?
I mean, I'm on track to have all of my credit card debt paid off by the end of this year, which I think, I don't even know the numbers anymore, but I think it was like $28,000 to begin with.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And paid it off in a little over a year and 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been killing it, Maril.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, we like just accelerated as we went. Because I think our original plan was to get it all paid off by the time I turned 40, which is still a couple years away. So
yeah. And what about on your savings side?
Yeah, so savings, I have like an emergency fund now, which the first step was to get a couple $1,000s in there, and I'm up to about I think it's about 13,000 right now, maybe even a little more than that. And yeah, on track to have a good 3 months of expenses saved for emergencies, and going to keep that growing. And yeah, I have good sinking fund set up. I'm taking an international trip in a couple of weeks. I had money saved to do that. Yeah, I've been able to accomplish a lot of tangible things in a short period of time.
Yes, you really have made great progress, and like I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
And it feels so good to have that emergency fund set up. And I've also increased like my contributions to my 401k, my net worth has like increased by 100% easily.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
What about on the intangible side, like the feelings, the emotions, the things that, the qualitative things? What would you say has?
I feel like such a different person. I feel so much more confident in my work. being, like being around other finance people and people who are investing in real estate. I always felt a little like imposter syndrome, that I was showing up to work and advising, how to make decisions about real estate investments. And at the same time, I have credit card debt and, student loans that I'm still paying off and no savings. Like it just felt off, out of alignment. And so now getting more in alignment with the kind of work that I do I feel so much more confident in the way that I show up at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually in every aspect of my life, honestly.
Yeah. Was that unexpected for you? Like,
yeah, I didn't realize that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had no idea. Like, because I don't know, you just kind of bury those thoughts about, like, they're kind of painful. Like, I'm not good with my money. That's kind of embarrassing and painful. And so I was just burying those feelings.
Yeah. A lot of times you don't realize how much they're impacting you.
Yeah. That you're just carrying that around. And I've had so many conversations with my family about my money journey, and also their like individual money journeys. We all came from a family that was a spend family. That's what we saw growing up, not saving. So we've all had like our own journeys and how to figure that out for ourselves. And it's been fun to talk about the work that I've done with you, with my sisters. And it gives us more space to dream about our futures. So that's really fun too.
Yeah, I love that so much. What would you say has been like your biggest change with your money beliefs and your money mindset?
I was actually thinking about this morning because I'm getting ready to go on this trip to Costa Rica, and like there's part of me that has like an impulse to want things to take on that trip with me. But my impulsive spending is not there anymore. Like I don't do it. The amount of I was doing so much shopping and working from home and being kind of in lockdown before I started working with you. Like I was just mindlessly shopping on the internet. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how that shifted so quickly for me, but it really did. I don't have the impulse to shop anymore. If there's something that I want, and like actually right now I have a tablet that is it's like a Microsoft Surface Pro that I've had for 6 years. Mm-hmm. Like the screen is starting to separate from the back of the tablet, so like you can see inside to all of the chips and stuff that's happening inside the
that is not right.
But I still it's pretty bizarre actually. But I still keep using it. I have it on my radar that like I probably want to get something new in the next, sorry, I have a train going behind me, in the next couple of months, but I'm like not in a rush. I'm doing research. I'm going to wait until there's probably some sales and I have money in my savings accounts that I can purchase this. I'm saving more money in the next couple of months to be ready for that purchase. And I think that habit all started. Do you remember the pair of boots that I really wanted to buy?
Yes, I call them your, in my mind, they're like your reward boots. I remember like you was trying to pay off a certain credit card, and like that's how you was going to reward yourself for those boots.
Yeah, exactly. And that felt like when we did that together, we kind of went through that together. And I had been looking at this pair of boots for a really long time. It felt so good to buy them from an empowered place.
Yeah.
And I think that started to create that habit for me. Of buying the things that I really want, and having a plan to get the things that I really want. Right. And I have all the freedom in the world to do that now.
Right. It's like you don't have to deprive yourself. You can still have what you want. Right. That's the way.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. So what would you say to someone who's on the fence about financial coaching?
I mean, I would just think about what it means to say yes, like to say yes versus saying no. Like what's holding you back. If, you know, I was unsure. I was unsure if I was ready for it. And it was because I didn't know if I wanted to make changes that would impact the way that I was living. I was a little scared to do that, but it has been so worth it.
Yeah.
And it, you know, yeah, I mean, if you're on the fence, like because of being scared or unsure, you should probably go for it.
Well, thank you, Maril, so much. Thank you for sharing your story. I know it will be so valuable for someone else to hear this, and they'll be able to see themselves and you and your, you know, the things that you were feeling and experiencing before financial coaching. And I'm glad you're showing them and able to share with them what's on the other side. If you just take that step, have the courage to take that step, right? So yeah.
It's so worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.